And a couple of days ago, I just had this weird feeling to throw on the Foo Fighters. And I know this sounds a little odd if you don't know about the news. I woke up and I was headed to work, and I always listen to something funky like Funkadelic, Parliament, Wolfpack. I listen to something I can shake the hip to, you know? Janis Joplin, you know? And maybe even a Joni Mitchell, dude, because the acoustic stuff can be upbeat and funky. But I wanted to listen to the Foo Fighters. I had this weird feeling in my body, like, oh, it's been a couple of months since I threw them on. So I threw them on, and I just had a jam session, dude. Oh, rock and roll, dude. I'm in the car, and I'm hitting the pen, and I'm doing a learning to walk, the whole deal. It's early in the morning. My voice isn't where it needs to be. But I was just jamming out. And it was a really beautiful, special kind of a moment. And I was just like, oh, dude, I got goosebumps. And I was like, man, rock and roll is alive, dude. It's here. And it was just really great. Went throughout the rest of the day. Just having a good day, doing my kind of thing. And the next morning, I found out this tragic news of the passing of Taylor Hawkins, who is the drummer of the Foo Fighters, if you don't know. And it was one of the strangest things because I legitimately had no idea, and I'm not trying to make this about myself at all, but Taylor impacted a lot of people, and the Foo Fighters have impacted a lot of people, and more importantly, rock and roll is important to a lot of people, and it's important to me. I got a goddamn bass clef on the wrist, and I toured playing these songs, these Foo Fighters songs, The Pretender, Everlong, Learn to Fly, Bridges Burning. Like, these were some great songs. These are some great songs. But they shaped my childhood in a big way. As a bassist, as a vocalist. And they were kind of my rock band. They were my Led Zeppelin. I had Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin's my favorite rock band. Love Aerosmith. I love the Allman Brothers, right? But having a band that's current and alive and contributing, it was so much, dude. And Dave Grohl's just a badass, dude. The whole band is, and Taylor's a singer. And I was just telling a coworker the day that I listened to that record, and I came in, I said, you always know what you're going to get with the Foo Fighters. And that's not a bad thing. There's no hate there, dude. I say that truly out of love. Because you need that in rock and roll. You need to know when you hit that album, it's going to be raw. The drums are going to be loud. The guitar is going to be wailing. And you're going to get the heavy bass. And you're going to hear some lower vibrato from the male. And maybe if you're on a certain level of rock and roll, you're going to hear some high vibrato. Some of that Robert Plant. Some of that Greta Van Vliet. But this was really tragic news, man, and this crazy kind of feeling went over my body just because of the experience I had the morning before of jamming out to the Foo Fighters, and it really kind of put me in a depressed state, and I was kind of down for a couple of days, and the love from the podcast really helped kind of push me up, and that sounds superficial, but I don't care because I got a lot of kind messages, and you all are great, but it was really sad because it was a big part of my childhood. And I did feel like we lost something in music. And I told some people about it, and I was just devastated, and I worded it in this way of, look at what we lost, man, this incredible being to music, this incredible drummer, because there's not a lot of drummers left, these notable drummers. We lost Neil Peart, now we have the losing of Taylor Hawkins, and we have Travis Barker, but I'm just saying there's not a lot of drummers left. And these people just responded by saying, well, he was on a bunch of drugs. And I'm like, why does that matter, dude? Because it didn't matter with Mac Miller. So it shouldn't matter with this person. I remember one of Taylor's famous quotes is, I play rock and roll for a living. I have nothing to complain about. I don't care if he was on drugs. That's not an excuse to not love somebody just because they're on the drug or multiple drug. I don't care if it's heroin mixed with all the stuff, dude. I even have a preferred drug, cannabis. You know what I'm saying? But this is sad, dude. And I thought that was very low. And just, you don't realize what people mean to someone. And back in the day when people would pass, I would view it just as this, oh, a celebrity's gone. But you kind of forget that certain people like Bob Saget, like David Bowie, like Taylor Hawkins, like Prince, these people shape childhoods. They shape people's adulthoods. They help people grow and change. And that's a beautiful thing, dude. That's a beautiful thing. So thank you, Taylor Hawkins. And I know Taylor's resting in peace. And I know that Taylor is going to live on forever because that music that was in him that he gave to others is still living right now, and it's going to be living on forever. So thank you, Taylor Hawkins, and thank you, the Foo Fighters. And may you rest in peace. And if you're at home right now, man, let's just cheers. Let's just cheers to Taylor. Peace. And I'll give Taylor a J-cha. Got the squeaky chair.